Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Ashby. I'm excited to be here with you this evening as our last installment for this month for our Optimal Longevity series. It's been exciting to see all the things that have transpired. We're excited to have Dr. Prasad here tonight with us, and Joanette Bevensheimer, and also Dr. Russell J. Kort. Just so excited to have them here. Before we get underway, though, it's important that we make sure that our disclaimer is taken care of. They've asked me to go ahead and pull it up here. I know Dr. Kort says that he was going to read it, but it just makes sense. If I've got it right here, I might as well just share it with you. So follow along with me as I read. These statements and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is for educational purposes only and includes recent advances in research on micronutrients. Engage, the micronutrient company, does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. Engage's products do, however, address our deficiencies and provide our bodies with the nutrition we are lacking. It's exciting to see so many of the people just joining us here. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody muted, and then we'll have Dr. Kort and Joanette unmute, and I'll pull them forward. So, all right. So, here we go, guys. This is your special evening, and we've got an incredible guest here with us as well. Dr. Prasad, the world's foremost expert on micronutrition and supplementation. And just last night, we rolled out a product for the entire company, one that had been shared with us a week earlier when we were all in Cancun. Hence the background that I have going on behind me. My heart, my my spirit is still there. I didn't want to come back to reality, but hey, you guys, great to have you here with us tonight. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn the remainder of the meeting over to you. I will be here in the background, though. So there you go. You guys, you're on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, welcome everybody to the Optimal Longevity series. My name is Dr. Kort. I'm here with Joanette Bevensheimer, and we have an action-packed night for you this evening. We're going to be talking about enzymes.
No, we're going to be talking about digestion and seniors.
And enzymes.
And enzymes. Yes. Yes.
So hang on.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce Dr. Prasad?
I would love to.
Okay.
It is with great pleasure that I'm going to introduce Dr. Prasad, and I will read his accolades here in just a second. We're in the middle of that. There we go.
Okay.
Dr. Prasad was professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine for more than 30 years, and he was the director of vitamin and cancer research. He's also the former president of the International Society of Cancer and Nutrition, and he was personally asked to sit on the Nobel Prize nominating committee for candidates in medicine. He's the world's first PhD radiological biologist, and he was personally awarded 7 patents on micronutrients and their effects. He discovered the anti-cancer potency of vitamin E succinate, and he also discovered butyric acid, the small fatty acid formed by fermentation of fibers in the gut, and it is also an anti-cancer agent. Dr. Prasad has authored or co-authored more than 32 books. He has published more than 250 peer-reviewed articles, and he is listed more than 450 times in PubMed. Dr. Prasad, you are a living legend.
Yes.
And we are so blessed to have you in our presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kort.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know that I've heard some rumors that the digestive enzyme had great benefits there for the people that attended in Cancun, but I wanted to walk through, like, we'll have Jeff share that in a little bit, but I wanted to walk through the basics of enzymes. And when I was studying in digestion today on seniors, Dr. Prasad, there's not a lot of information out there that's helpful for seniors that are having some symptoms. And so I mean, I was looking for a couple of hours today, and so I do have I have a short little video we're going to watch. But I think for people on this call tonight, I think there's going to be a lot of hope for people that have had a lot of GI issues or what is normal digestion. And so I think it's going to be really good because I did look for a few hours. So I'm going to pull up our optimal longevity graphic, because the reason why we are here is that your lifespan is how long you live. Your health span is how many years you live a healthy, vibrant life.
Mm-hmm.
And we want your health span to equal your lifespan, which is the bottom one.
Yes.
And to be able to get to go do all these things. And you know, with the work that Dr. Prasad has done, we know that we can do that. One of the things that I was looking at, and we've talked about this before, things that are important that we measure for aging and optimal health are the ability to heal after an injury or an infection or a break, the ability to have grip strength, the ability to walk, talk, have cognition, think, but the ability to eat, the ability to assimilate, and the ability to defecate, and are all parts, of optimal longevity, and that we don't always talk about. And so I'm going to pull up a short little video, Dr. Prasad.
Sure.
Then we're going to get into your new product because I'm excited about it.
I'm so excited.
Okay, let's do it.
Just tell us, does this fill the whole screen? I want to make sure that, does that fill the whole screen, Dr. Prasad?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is a nice short little video.
Gas and bloating can affect almost anyone and can be painful and uncomfortable. What can someone do to help with this embarrassing problem? We spoke with certified nutritional consultant Brenda Watson, author of Heart of Perfect Health, and a natural health practitioner who specializes in digestive care, internal cleansing, and detoxification. We asked her, what are some of the common causes of gas and bloating?
The most common causes of gas and bloating are the indigestion of our foods, meaning we are not digesting our proteins, our starches, and our fats completely. And those undigested foods sit in our digestive system and create gas and bloating. The number one reason that someone would not be digesting their foods is because they're not producing enough digestive enzymes from the pancreas. Another reason would be that, especially with carbohydrates, that they're not chewing their foods enough in the mouth, because in the mouth you have salivary amylase, which is the first stage of digestion of starches. So if you're just washing your foods down and not chewing them, then the first stage of digestion in carbohydrates is compromised. So it's very important to understand. And as we get older, we do not produce as many digestive enzymes from the pancreas as we do when we're younger, unfortunately.
Exactly what happens when we eat food?
When we eat food and it enters the stomach liquefies it, and it passes from the stomach into the small intestine. The gallbladder releases bile, and the pancreas releases digestive enzymes to break that food down into usable nutrients. Protease from your pancreas digests protein, amylase, starch, and lipase digest your fats. It takes it from large molecules to small molecules so that it can pass through the digestive lining into your bloodstream as usable nutrients. You can take digestive enzyme as a supplement to help ensure that you digest your foods. And this is an important piece of information. Undigested food sitting in your digestive tract will ferment, creating more gas and bloating. And over a long term, we believe that fermenting starches can develop into non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is one of the most growing conditions in America today. Why? Because starch ferments in the small intestine and produces alcohol. Therefore, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Digestive supplements consist of protease for protein digestion, amylase for your starch digestion, and lipase for your fat digestion. They come from plants. So all you do is take them with a meal, and they will help break down any undigested food that you don't digest with your own enzymes from your pancreas. So therefore, it's sort of a cleanup crew. It cleans up that undigested food in your gut so that it doesn't create more toxins.
What does someone need to?
All right. So I wanted to give that overview, Dr. Prasad. And
What do you think?
Well, that's interesting. She's correct. That what he said is absolutely correct. But
it's simple, but go ahead.
No, but the question is, for example, we know, like she says, there are three major groups. Is a protein, carbohydrate, and in carbohydrate also they call simple carbohydrate like sugar, and complex carbohydrate like a starch and fiber. And different enzyme works. For example, on these kind of, whether it's a simple carbohydrate or complex carbohydrate, and so, but this is this one is a alpha amylase, it will digest overall not as efficiently complex carbohydrate as the other one, which is hiding here, sugar. Does alpha? See, this is wrong, and I pointed out to David Nemelka that alpha galactosidase is specifically this enzyme works on a complex carbohydrate, not a simple. I don't know where he got this figure, but maybe internet. So this is wrong, and I have pointed him out this morning.
I apologize, Dr. Prasad.
No, this is not your fault, but I'm just trying to adjust the error. That that if you have a complex carbohydrate, you need alpha glycosidase because that works very efficiently on a complex carbohydrate, and alpha amylase can work on some of those things, maybe a little bit of also on both, but especially in a simple carbohydrate, alpha amylase should be very, very effective. So the thing is reversed.
Okay. So
this I wanted to point out. And then you have a protein digestion where you have protease. An example of some protease is pepsin and peptidase. And this is very important because when you have protein molecule, pepsin will break out at certain part of the protein, and aminopeptide will break certain other parts of the protein. So if you don't have both together, it will be not completely hydrolyzed into a smaller pieces. So it is very important that any formula you see, you must have a both type of aminopepsin, and there are 600 different types of the proteases. But for us, the proteases like pepsin, aminopeptidase is sufficient to break down the protein into smaller pieces so that they can be easily absorbed. And fat digestion, of course, lipase is very important, that it will digest the fat into fatty acid. And as well as we also have a lactase, because many people can't take a dairy product because some people are genetically lactose intolerant. And lactose can be destroyed by some of these other enzymes that we have, digestive enzyme. You need a lactase, which is also a digestive enzyme that prevents the people then they can enjoy ice cream or any dairy product if they take our vitamin. So our vitamin is also took care of those kind of people who have lactose intolerance.
Well, I also know that, and we'll talk a little bit more how the digestive daily and the probiotic go together. But I've also measured many fecal tests where people do not have the probiotic to break that down. And that is found in the formulation. So people that have an issue with that too, when they actually they're taking the probiotic, they will be actually endogenously being able to make that as well.
Yeah, I think like she said, as you grow older, the salivary gland, intestine, or a stomach, their capacity to produce the digestive enzyme reduces. This is part of the deterioration of the function of the organ, like brain or liver or any organ. And so it is not surprising that as we grow older, and sometimes if somebody has an ulcer, younger people, they can have also that problem of digestion because they be, at least intestinal secretion. Sometimes pancreas get damaged either by infection or by physical injury. They can start producing less digestive enzymes. So there are a variety of conditions, not only aging, but also younger people can sustain this kind of problem and have a reduced amount of digestive enzyme. That's why it is very important to have a digestive enzyme which can help. Like she said, that if it is not digested, then it gets fermented and then can create all kind of gas and alcohol and so on and so forth. So, and so it is very important to have this. And some people ask that that how the probiotic, is it sufficient for intestinal health? Well, for intestinal health, it is important, and because it works in a different way. Probiotics favor the growth of the beneficial bacteria, which produces a lot of beneficial molecule for your health. But it cannot substitute, it cannot prevent or cannot stimulate the production of digestive enzyme from pancreas or even from the intestine.
Mm-hmm.
But you combine both together, then if your food is being digested, that will have an impact or also efficiency, effectiveness of your beneficial bacteria to produce so that they can get absorbed better.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is extremely important that we have a proper digestion of our food that we take. And there are only three, I want to emphasize, some statement was made in the meeting, there are five macronutrient. There are only three macronutrient.
Yeah.
One is protein, carbohydrate, and fats. It is known forever. I don't know where people got the information. There are 5 macronutrient. There is not 5. There is only 3.
Yes.
So I just want to make some correction, but
and this is a great platform for you to do that. But I want to go back to what are the symptoms that people are experiencing that Dr. Kort's been asking, people for 20 some years. How often do you go to the bathroom? I mean, he's this.
No, I said, how often do you poop?
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
constipation is another symptom of poor digestion.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I pulled this up here.
Yeah, this is very good slide. This is extremely good slide.
It's a good slide, and I want to talk about it.
Sure.
How do you know if you need a digestive enzyme? And I think that just walking through each one of these, this is just so many people suffer from these at all ages. But when we get older, this is almost, I hate to say this, it's normal. And it doesn't have to be normal. That by taking the digestive boost with your food, a lot of these symptoms can be mitigated because we aren't making enough of the actual enzymes in our pancreas as we age. So do you feel bloated? Do you suffer from gas, Dr. Kort? Do you suffer from constipation? Do you suffer from diarrhea? Do you suffer from stomach cramps? Do you suffer from poor digestion? And like acid reflux, when we talk about that, a lot of people, I mean, it's the #1 over-the-counter selling medication in the world. But there's a note down here on the bottom, and I want to lead you to the answer of this, but it says note, like when you have a gastric ulcer, taking blood thinner drugs or NSAIDs, right? Advil. I would also say blood thinners, coumarin, Coumadin.
Or Eliquis,
warfarin will induce deficiency of digestive enzymes.
Yeah.
And so this is a $1 million statement. And one of the reasons that I know led to, in your formulation, why a lot of people, and also B12 deficiencies. I mean, that's really important. But I think one of the reasons why you did not put, and most digestive enzymes that I've looked at for years and years, most of them have bromelain in them. And so why did you choose to, not put in the formulation, Dr. Prasad, when most of the other formulas out there for digestive enzymes have bromelain?
Yeah. First, I want to make one statistic that John presented it, that and it was from the National Institute of Health publication. And he showed that if you put all those criteria that you showed in this slide together, there would be 200 million people who have one of those problems. If you combine them together, he has individual one, 60 million, 50 million, but if you put all together, there were 200 million. So there is a lot of people who suffer from this disease without knowing about it, what to do it. No, but bromelain here, because bromelain, for example, we take a multiple vitamin, right? Vitamin E. Vitamin E has some blood thinning effect, well known. Then we take a omega-3. It has a little bit blood thinning effect too. So this is important. And so, and this is good for your health, blood thin is there, certain amount. But what bromelain does, that it is almost like an analogous to the Eliquis. It's very strong blood thinner. And so I thought that if many people who are older age and maybe taking Eliquis or Plavix, and if you have heart disease and you know how many million people have a heart issue. And so from prevention point of view, as well as treatment point of view, you don't want to have an extra bleeding. And so giving a bromelain there, this can increase the risk of bleeding. And anytime in all our preparation that I have developed, anything whose flags, it can be potentially dangerous. If you take a 1 week or 2 weeks, but long-term effect, I said, don't take it. And that's main reason is because it has a serious, the blood thinning effect. And in combination with Eliquis and Plavix, it can cause bleeding in the brain and you could be dead. You see what I mean? Safety is always my primary important with all other products that I have developed. So even this slightly, there is no experimental data or human data to support what I'm saying. But what data was available, from that basis, I said, this is a risk factor. I cannot take a chance.
Ooh,
I got a question. And she doesn't know I'm asking this question, but we do a lot of heart rate variability in our testing. And one of the areas that I find I will say almost 100% of the people that I test is the small intestine, as well as the pericardium, the heart. But in the small intestine, the meridians of the small intestine, my question is this. Do you think that something as simple as pointing your cell phone at your small intestines could be decreasing the function of our gut from the radiation from our phones?
I think no question is some people will be more sensitive than the others. But I think it does say another risk factor that I have pointed out in my paper, in my book, that the problem is that you can't get away with this. That's the fact of life. No matter how much you say do it, people would not do it, just like a diet recommendation. Because they are environmental agent, you can't change it. So what you do, the second best thing, try to convince them that don't do that. Don't carry this thing in a pocket, say, for example. And if you are not using it, keep it away from you, like I do. My cell phone is away from me. But I work on the computer. And so the second best thing is, like you do, is that provide them an adequate micronutrient supplement like the EMF, microdaily EMF, to protect them. That's all you can suggest it. You can suggest it also try to reduce all these exposure as much as possible. You know that France has banned the Apple 12.
Yep.
Mine is Apple 11. I found out. I never knew what number is my telephone. My granddaughter figured out. I said, "Oh, you have 11," and she has a 13. But it was banned only 12 because it was emitting much more radiation that was above the guideline provided by, international agency. And so I think, but again, I'm sure many people will continue to use Apple 12, and have a not only acute effect, Dr. Kort, that you are mentioning it, it could be long-term effect, not only in the intestine, with the brain, with the testes, reproductive system, ovary, and so on and so forth. So, and cancer. It is one of the most deadly environmental agent. See, ionizing radiation is that you go and take only once in a while where you have a problem. But this one, whether you like it or not, you are exposed to. So what do you do next? Best thing. You take, at least you have demonstrated it by taking the micro daily EMF, it reduces it. And since it produces free radicals, then it is, of course, it will reduce the damage. But also late effect, because you cannot take just one day. You know, if you go for diagnostic X-ray, you take one time, and then you do. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. But I always recommend take throughout your life. But what I'm saying that your concern is because, like any other organ, for example, intestine, bone marrow, testes, ovary, they are the most radio-sensitive organs. It is well established, and so protecting them is extremely important. From ionizing radiation point of view, they are the most sensitive to ionizing radiation, and therefore I would say that for EMF radiation, they would be considered the most sensitive organ.
I love that, and you know, it's important. I mean, it's literally cellular hygiene, but you think about our children, you know, babies get that and point it at their belly. And, you know, I think you did a great job of answering why and how we have this dysfunction and why enzymes are so important.
My granddaughter is 16-year-old. I try to teach her all these things, but maybe she follow 1% or 10%. We just can't. But she takes the micro daily gummy. So that's good enough for me because we can't change them.
Well, this is a start, Dr. Prasad. And just like Alara is physical shielding, and that's a known in the radiation world, your approach as Pamara as a way to biologically protect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay?
As much as possible.
Textbooks. Okay. Yeah. This is a way to do that. So I'm going to continue raising the flag.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think this is very important to raising a flag because, as you know, in early 60s, even the prestigious scientists, famous scientists say, no, it is not a carcinogen. But people keep doing it like yourself, you are doing it. It is also a carcinogen. 10 years ago, the International Agency for Cancer Research defined it as a potentially carcinogen.
Remember when they used to smoke in planes?
Yeah. So that's right. So a person like yourself are the pioneer in this area to convince people about this issue. And so, by the way, we have patent pending on EMF and how to protect it. I don't know what will happen, but. So digestive enzyme, people sometimes.
Everybody, this is the stuff you're only getting here. It's fantastic, and with such.
Yeah, I mean, this is confusion is because the digestive enzyme versus probiotics, actually they are synergistically beneficial for your gut. One is provide full digestions so that you don't suffer with constipation, blowing gas, and all those kind of symptoms that we described. And then probiotic comes, now they are producing very healthy molecules, vitamin K, B vitamin, neurotransmitters, and so on. So now they can be absorbed very healthy, absorbed better, because they will improve together much more health of the intestine just individually. And that's for those people, some people may not have a digestion issue. For them, it is not necessary. But for them, older people who have this problem, you have to have it both.
Well, and I put up a picture here for people I look at the part 1 of the digestion from even before you put it in your mouth, you're smelling it,
Yeah.
right?
So
Perhaps why-
digestion begins.
and
Begin
so
gut in the mouth.
in the mouth, and then you have the esophagus, and then you have the small and then you have the stomach. And so then from there we have the pancreas and the spleen involved, which is the top part.
Yeah.
The bottom part is really where those probiotics,
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but Dr. Prasad, don't you think that that even when you're taking your probiotic, it's still sending signals out from the very beginning that, hey, I'm coming?
Yeah, I mean, this is good, but it cannot tell. It cannot tell pancreas, for example, or salivary gland, which were producing less digestive enzyme. Oh, I think you produce more. It can't. There is
Okay.
no mechanism involved there.
So we have to have the enzymes, the signaling,
Yeah.
to be able to do that.
So to supplement what is lacking, what is not being enough released from the pancreas and the salivary gland. Those are two major organ and intestine. But intestine is happy because once they are happy probiotics, then they can say, okay, I think I'm happy. I can produce some enzyme. But once you give a digestive enzyme, then food is being digested and absorbed, because that has impact on not only in the gut, but also in your brain.
Right.
So if it is perfectly in health shape, especially as you grow older, then your brain will maintain the function. You don't have to worry about the mental health issue later on as you grow older. I mean, I think, that's amazing that I gave you one testimonial about digestive enzyme. And I think Jeff has a better one, but I will give you one, because in Cancun, the amount of food type of vegetable type of meat, fish, fruit was unlimited and free. So you have a tendency of eating more. And I'm one of those guys who cannot control when you have a lot of food there. So I ate a lot, but when my turn came out to get a bottle of enzymes, David Nemelka said, "Oh, it's all gone." So I have to borrow from a Jonathan. Can you give me a couple of capsules there? I have to borrow from Bernard, because when we were eating. And
hang on, thank you, leaders, for taking care of Dr.
Shouldn't you have gotten the
Prasad.
first bottle? I mean, for crying out loud.
Okay.
But I didn't take it. I was distributing. David Nemelka asked me to distribute it, sign it, so I was busy distributing it. So by the time last came, it was over. So I have nothing to, I thought I will take in the end. But by the time I gave last bottle.
Dr. Prasad, you got to put the first one in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that. That was my mistake.
Okay, so thank you, Bernard and Jonathan, for making sure that Dr. Prasad had the two enzymes. And tell us how you want us to take it.
Yeah, but so everything was perfect in the morning. You clean up the gut nicely. So everything was digested appropriately. But otherwise, here, sometime when I go to have a dinner with my family, and then you go outside, then you have a big dinner. And then it will not be as easily digestible as I had when I took the enzymes. And so when I came, the first thing was there, I asked Tia to send me as soon as possible. So So Tia is my buddy. Anytime I ask, she immediately sends it. So
very good. So Jeff, can you hop on? Well, I'm just grateful that that our leaders there, our amazing engaged family, gave up their products so Dr. Prasad had some. Jeff, would you mind sharing your product
experience?
Testimony?
Yeah, come on.
It was truly amazing. And had I known Dr. Prasad didn't have some, I'd have certainly given some away. We just, Helen and I each got one bottle, and we knew that they had run out. And so we donated one of ours. So we're down to, it's just like, I've got just that many left is it. and that's a sad thing, knowing how important this product is to us. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And and we were just doing some comparison to got back from our adventure and eating everything in sight, like Dr. Prasad just said. I mean, it was. I just got to quickly share one of the just one of the pictures. This picture right here.
Plus free drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a swim up bar. Everything was there. This is one of the restaurants. There was 7 restaurants. There were two buffets, and it's just all days of
Yeah,
a
buffet. That's
night.
another thing. Buffet.
I mean, yeah, and then they had pizza places where you could just hear this. This was one of the pizza places right there next to the pool. I mean, it was just amazing. Well, came back, and both Helen and I jumped on the scale this morning, and she's lost 3 pounds and I've lost 2. So we ate that much last week. I mean, just every day, and yet I know it's we're not supposed to say it's going to help you lose weight, but if you're digesting your food better, you're getting more out of it.
Yeah.
You're eliminating better. All of those things go into a success story, and I just really feel like that. I went down there knowing what the product was. Dr. Prasad and I had talked, and I knew what it was. And it's like, well, we're going to get a nice vacation out of it.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that just this product would make that vacation so
I mean,
much nicer.
when you make it, you can't predict it. I tried to make best as after research for 6 months, but then you still don't know. Just like Macro Daily, when I prepared, we didn't know how much good it will do, but it did very well.
Yep, absolutely amazing. Thank you, and I'm grateful that we have the promotion going right now. From now through Saturday, it's available.
Yeah, so, what was the 2? If you order 3,
buy 2 get 1 free. So it's like it's
a lot of savings.
It's a savings of $40. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
And so how many, here it is right here, everybody, through the 30th, buy 2, get 1 free and stock up. And so how do you recommend taking it, Dr. Prasad? Do you
I think it is a good question, because generally I think all the digestive enzyme, you take a 15 minutes before the dinner. But suppose if you forgot it, take immediately after dinner, but preferably before that, so your intestine is ready to receive the food and digest it appropriately. But suppose sometimes you forget, I mean, but you can take it 2 hours and have the same effect. It will still have some effect, but the best effect would be taking 15 minutes before.
And how many capsules do you take with your?
One cup is sufficient.
I did 2. I did 2, knowing that I was really.
Well, I mean, at that time you were abusing myself, so for 1 or 2 days.
You were abusing yourself.
As far as diet is concerned, I was abusing for 4 days.
Okay, but normally it's a one.
Normally 1 before the meal, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening or noontime, whatever.
And it's exciting that we have this buy 2 get 1 free. Today I was talking to somebody, and I put them on. I said, look, 6 months on the product. They sent me a live blood analysis and said, what do I do? And I said, 6 months on the product, we'll reevaluate. And then I came up with the idea. I said, we have a special right now on our enzymes. I think you should get 6 of them.
Yeah.
You have 6 months worth. I want you to do Prasad's
free
for 4, and you'll have 6 bottles, so that you can go ahead and have a bottle for each month. With
and again, that is, some people have varieties of health condition. Under all those health conditions, this is going to be useful, because part of the health condition is proper nutrient are not being absorbed, or food are not being, any kind of healthy issue that you say, diabetes or any kind of health issue. I think it will be important to have, because most of the time older people have this disease. You see what I mean?
So hang on a second. I have a research paper that I pulled up. Okay. That's let me see if I can, it's, okay. 1 second. And I will. shoot. One more second. Let me see if I can get it back up.
Never tell a guy with a cowboy hat to shoot.
Okay. I have to just lower my screen a little bit. Oh, it's not, shoot, I don't know where it went. Doggone it. But it was I'll send it to you, Dr. Prasad. It was a 2023 paper on aging and nutrients. And it walked through some of the major issues, and digestion was at 3.0 and the issues, and it gave a lot of statistics. It was a January 2023 paper. And then the next paragraph down, it was talking about the gut microbiome. And those two things together can really affect everyone's quality of life.
Exactly.
And so all we had for like 8 years was just your one product. I mean, that's what we had.
It felt like that.
Right?
Was it?
Well, we had one, and now we have a suite of products, and the digestive boost is now going to help for the people that are really having a hard time digesting, and they're belching, they're bloating, they have distension, they have gas, they have constipation, they have diarrhea. All of those symptoms can be mitigated by putting this boost in before you eat. But then it's going to help our favorite product, which is the Micro Daily EMF, work better.
Yeah.
And then the Core 4, which Dr. Kort is, it's his favorite product. But I want people to know on here that that's not normal. It's not normal at any age to belch a lot and have a lot of gas and have distension after you eat. And there are lots of different products on the market. I've tried many digestive enzymes, Dr. Prasad, and I'm just going to be honest, not very many worked. I'm just being really honest with people on this, that they didn't work for me, and so I know that it's a really big market because a lot of people are suffering.
Oh yeah.
One of the things to do is also not eat late. So when you're older, you need to have it like Dr. Prasad has a lighter dinner. Okay, he doesn't eat the biggest meal usually at dinner time, and we don't either. And then that way it's just easier to digest, and it'll be just with your circadian rhythm, it'll be easier for you with a digestive enzyme. And then, now cutting it at 6 and not eating at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, it's really hard on your body. And I think by adding this simple product, and I think it's really going to help a lot of people that are suffering with these symptoms that didn't know what to do.
I'm also excited about the Core 4. We'll just call it Core 4 plus 1.
Plus 1. I mean, we are the only one who are promoting this idea. For your health, we have to have a multiple approach. Even though Micro Daily alone was having some good benefit, but that was not sufficient. Most of the people in a scientific community, if you have some problem, they will give you one drug for your stomach. That's it. But how about the other issues involved? So we take an overall your health issue during aging, and then you said, I can't do just by micronutrient alone.
No.
So we develop eye boost, because these micronutrients that we have in EMF do not cross in the eye sufficient amount to protect your eye. So despite of that, it will be some value, but not the optimal value. And so we develop eye boost. For the same reason, we develop the brain boost. And so that's why our is the only, even in a scientific paper that I published, most of the people will publish effect of probiotic alone and various diseases, or digestive enzyme alone, or micronutrient alone. But our is the only one. I was afraid that they may not accept it, but they have accepted it with respect to we already published on the Alzheimer's disease, but the second paper that they have accepted it with minor modification is the on diabetes, where I have put all collagen peptides and omega. When I submitted, omega-3 was not available. But again, do you know the omega-3, which I did not know until after I submitted paper and everything. But in a book that I'm writing on Alzheimer, I'm including that. The two ingredient that we have, one is quercetin that we have in Micro Daily EMF, and another is omega-3 fatty acid, which is separate. In case somebody has insulin resistance, for example, type 2 diabetes people, or type 1 diabetes B, become resistant to many drugs and so on. Then these, say, Kort and or omega-3, they activate, for example, how insulin works to facilitate the uptake of glucose inside the cell. Well, it goes to bind with the receptor. Then receptor then activate another protein kinase called ATK. And when that gets activated, then glucose transporter protein, which is lying idle in the cytoplasm, migrates to the cell membrane. And then you said glucose, you can come in. Without that, glucose cannot come in inside the cell. So if you have insulin, if you are insulin working, this mechanism is perfect. But suppose if you're insulin resistant, then what Kort and this omega-3 does, it directly activate this protein kinase called ATK. And glucose transporter doesn't care how you have activated it. Once it gets activated, then it gets phosphorylated. And then suddenly the glucose transporter protein, which was lying in the cytoplasm, comes to this membrane of the cell. And then it said, okay, now glucose, you can come in. So it can prevent the effect of, it was amazing to me. This is very interesting.
And that's direct.
That's direct activation. Doesn't have to go through insulin receptor at all.
It's a bit,
it's amazing.
Hang on, the nuggets we get here is just,
I love it.
That's amazing, Dr. Prasad.
You know, we've turned so many people that have diabetes. I was just talking about
high blood sugar.
High blood sugar. I was talking just today, and I think he might actually be on this call, but he had a high blood sugar of
fasting
blood sugar is 650.
Oh. Ooh.
He's now down to 120.
See, I mean, our strategy really is working. I mean,
yeah, I see.
I'm so happy because when I developed this, I would never thought that it will have any implication on diabetes or Alzheimer or memory loss, age-related memory loss.
You know, I said in the beginning that you're a living legend. And I mean that with the utmost respect and kindest regards and most admiration, because I think back what it must have been like sitting talking to Linus Pauling and him saying, it's just vitamin C.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think there's some other things that we should look at here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that all the research that's out there is on single nutrients.
Agent.
Single agents. And so that's why it's hard when presenting to a neurologist or presenting this, that they'll go look at other research, but it's not his multiple micronutrient approach.
Simultaneous application.
But now, Dr. Prasad, even though in 2023 you shared with me, and I found one too, that there's actually research on a multivitamin.
Yes.
That was a once a day product over a good cohort. That is a multiple approach.
Yeah.
So they finally are following you. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when we were talking about this extremely high blood sugar, I mean, I've got lots of people that I work with very, very high blood sugar, but it's the microdaily EMF, the probiotic, collagen, and omega, and now the digestive enzymes. So it's not just one thing.
No.
It's the multimodal approach. I'm answering one of the
multimodal approach.
It's a multimodal approach, and that's the way that I've always addressed medicine as well. Is that I stack and you stack, and it's what has created this really beautiful palette that it is going to change the world of health.
It is, and it's safe. So I
want plus it is safe. All the product that we have, it is extremely safe.
And there are no medication contraindications on.
No medication contraindications.
But what he did with the digestive enzyme and not put the bromelain in there, because he said it was as strong as Eliquis. For anybody on this call that doesn't know, that is very powerful and extremely strong blood thinner. Okay. And for him to say, we're not putting that in there. Okay. We're going to make this as safe as possible, because so many people are on blood thinners. They are on NSAIDs, painkillers, those types, not painkillers, but statins. in particular, that can cause deficiencies if they're on NSAIDs in digestive enzymes.
Yeah.
But that's a really unique aspect of your formulation. That was the first thing to me that stood out, because I'm like, why is that not in there? And because you reduce the risk. And I thank you for that, because there are so many seniors
I know.
on blood thinners.
Well, and think about all the people that are on chronic, we said NSAIDs, but chronic aspirins, chronic, Tylenol, chronic
exactly.
Advil. That's a disaster.
Hang on. And those deplete digestive enzymes.
Digestive enzyme, exactly.
They deplete them.
Right.
Okay.
So that further aggravate that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I think, sometimes if you have a severe pain, you have to take Advil. But then if you are taking a supplement, digestive enzyme, then it replaces that. And so, sometimes people recommend anti-inflammatory agents, if you have severe pain or in any case, short term, this is okay. But
if they're in pain, Dr. Prasad, you have to get down the oxidative stress and inflammation, which you do.
So that's why combined approach is better, because that not only it will help intestine, but also the oxidative stress is also in the intestine as well.
I know.
So if you take a micronutrient, our approach, multimodality approach, then you took care of all, all the events that could impact your health adversely.
I think, I just think what it must be like. I can't even imagine what it must be like to be the only formulator of these suite of amazing products. You have nobody to argue with except yourself. It's like, nope, I'm going to do it this way. Well, okay. And you have no one to argue with except yourself. But when you go to bed at night, how do you feel with this amazing suite of products that you've created and the lives that you have changed and the ones that you have yet to change? How do you feel?
I feel very happy and peaceful, because I told my wife that even it would have helped to one person, I would have been very happy. But now we are helping so many people, you can't imagine how happy and peaceful it is. That's why I can sleep in the night much better than I used to.
And a little CBD can help you with
because,
that.
I did a lot of molecular biology research. It became famous and all these kind of things, but it doesn't do any good thing to the people.
Mm-hmm.
I built up my, credentials, book and this thing, but that has no impact. But in retrospect, that gave me some prestige that I developed this thing people will pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. And this multiple...
Even the most negative guy, if they read our biography short that you showed it, they will think, well, let me see what it is. At least they will think about it,
Yes. And I was just listening to a Nobel Prize on autophagy just this last week. And
What's autophagy?
What is autophagy, Dr. Prasad?
It's okay.
Carving the system.
It's a body's process for killing the cells that need to be get rid of because they've been damaged.
Right.
But anyhow, he said all diseases are metabolic and driven by oxidative stress. And I was like, yes. And so
This has been carrying me for a long time.
Right. And
but all those things is also political. I give you one example. There is a Lasker Award in the US for biological medical science people. So when I discovered that cyclic AMP elevation can convert neuroblastoma cell to mature neuron, I became famous overnight. And so same thing, a scientist from Israel confirmed the exactly same principle on a leukemic cell. And he was awarded a Lasker Award, not me. He's just confirming it, what I said, on a different cell line. So, but I don't worry about those things. My happiness lies not in those kind of awards, but the people are happy with the product that I developed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the next big celebration I'm hearing might be in Vegas, and I think that's your birthday coming up, right?
I mean, that's my favorite city because I love
January 8th.
I love gambling.
Great time.
Yeah, January 8th, heading to Las Vegas.
I play craps table. That's the only gamble I make it play.
You know what? I'm going to say it here. If we're in Vegas for January 8th, I am going to find an Elvis impersonator for you because we're going on exactly the same day. And
Okay,
we're going to sing.
that's really
That'll be a
fun.
blast.
That'll be a blast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's time to wrap this up. And I wanted to wrap it up with one thing that I wanted to
Okay.
share with people. I already said about, taking advantage of the enzyme offer that we have, buy two, get one free. I think that's fantastic.
Through Saturday.
Through Saturday. I mean, it's a short-lived window. But I also want to go back to, what Engage has done. We have the Core 4. And then if you buy a bottle after Saturday of the enzyme, they take $10 off the price.
Mhm.
That's right.
And if you buy two bottles, they take $15 off the second bottle. So we're now at $25 savings. And if you buy 3 boosts, different bottles, they're going to take off another, I think it's 10, 15, I think it's 25. I think it's $45 total.
That's a free product.
Off those 3 bottles. And they just keep giving. It's really amazing. I was talking to somebody today about the customer program. If you're a customer and you share this with another customer, they give you 100% of their order, first order, in thank you shopping points.
Yeah, because company philosophy is not to make money for themselves alone, although they want to make sufficient to pay everybody, but also how people who are working, they get adequately financially rewarded. I don't understand this system, but I know many people are getting a lot of money. And so that's why, the reason we are growing slowly and don't become a multimillionaire overnight is because our philosophy is different to help people, not only in health, but also financially. When you do that commitment, you can grow very fast.
Well, we are so grateful. Go ahead.
Hang on. We are really, really grateful. And for everyone on here, get back to the person that invited you on this call and say, I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to have optimal longevity. We've been saying now, 60 is the new 30. And Dr. Prasad's 88 plus, calling us kids, but you can live a vibrant, healthy life. So get back to that person and say, I'm ready to get started. And if you have not ordered your enzymes on this call, please do. And we've got some great comments in there saying people were taking aspirin and NSAIDs and things like that. They are decreasing your body's ability to make the digestive
Exactly.
They're affecting your body's ability to naturally heal.
True.
Yeah. And this is very important. And again, we always provide you, I appreciate it, Engage Global, and what all of you are doing is promoting these things, and so maximum people get benefit health-wise and financially as well.
Excellent. And if you want to watch this call, you can, or any of the Optimal Longevity series, you can go to YouTube on Team Serve and they'll be there. And so you want to go ahead and
make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
And you can watch our Optimal Longevity series. What did you want me to do?
We'll just go ahead and unmute everybody and let's just thank Dr. Prasad for this awesome lecture and awesome product and just say thank you and we'll close out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, Dr. Prasad, for everything you do.
It was awesome.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Good night.
Great call, guys.
Thank you. I see you next week.
We appreciate your humility.
Thank you.
Dr. Kort, Denise, Dr. Prasad said bromelain is not that good, correct?
Yes. Bromelain,
Gotcha.
bromelain is as strong as Eliquis.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm just finishing up brand X here, so I can't wait to get ours. Woohoo!
Very good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
And
you.
anybody has a question, anybody who has a question, they can always direct to the company, and I get it and I reply very fast.
He does.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Prasad. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you guys. Thank